How quickly can I let go of this emotion right now? When you
Okay.
become emotional because you didn't execute on whatever you said you were going to do as far as the habits because you're focused on the business or something else that's more important, you just got to let go of that and say, like, did I get it at least 80% correct? The person who's an entrepreneur that's aspiring to do more, it's always important to have somebody that you can bounce ideas off of, who checks in with you weekly, who gets deep with the questions they're asking you to make sure that you're aligned with what your goals are.
What's up, Brian? We have Brian Moncada here with us. And Brian, I'm so excited to do this quick interview and just spread the good word around you and what you're doing. So please go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? Brian from Adspend.com. And yeah, happy to be here, bro. Thanks for having me.
Brian, man, when we known each other for a couple years now. We got to know each other via Instagram. We built a relationship and we got to work a little bit together. Before you got to work with me, what was your experience with your performance and operations just before working with me?
Well, being someone who's not very operations focused, it's always something that I didn't really like doing. I'm more of the visionary. Sales, marketing is my specialty, and creating the product, visioning how it's going to look, the marketing behind it, how we're going to position it. So operations was always something that I knew we needed to do better at, but I would not pay too much attention to it.
During our work together, our relationship together, during the weeks that we worked over like 6 months almost, what was it like during our sessions? Your experience?
Yeah, I would say the main thing would be the productivity and the performance more than the operations. We didn't really do too much operations, which I liked more than anything, because I think that it was cool. The way I would describe it was more of like a weekly therapy session
Okay,
where I could
awesome.
obviously share what's been going on in the business, and you would ask me questions that are very specific to getting really crystal clear on what needs to be focused on more and what needs more time and attention, which was really helpful.
And based on these sessions that we did, what was it like after we finished?
It was better because I just felt like I was being held accountable more than anything. And it was funny because, like, going into it, I was kind of just like hesitant to just like jump in and say yes. And I was like, oh, I'll do it. Hassan's a friend. And I was like, okay. But I also was in like 3 other masterminds, learning different types of information. So I was like, and adding another thing would just be a big thing. But ultimately, it was something I look forward to. So at the end of it, it was good to go through the cycle of I think we did like 16 weeks or something, maybe even less than that. And
Yep.
it was it was cool, man. I got to see insights into my mental frame of a lot of things that needed to be worked on, and it just held me accountable. I think is the biggest thing that I could take away from that.
And what would be the main like outcomes through the experience and relationship? Like the main three outcomes would you say that you got out of it for yourself? Because like you said, it's more of guidance. It's more based on guiding questions that guide you and actually find out what is going on inside, but having that performance and having more clarity. What would be the main outcomes based on the weekly planning, based on productivity, based on performance?
Yeah, I'd say the outcomes would be the weekly reflection was the biggest one.
Okay.
Being able to take some time again to just reflect on the week, highlight the wins, highlight the lessons, and then plan out the next week with the top 3 things, and then using that habit consistently to be able to then plan out my week for the next week and what's the most important thing I need to focus on. And then also on the relationship side, being able to just pinpoint on what relationships in my life were lacking that I needed to work on and improve on. And throughout the time we were working together, it definitely obviously came up a few times that the same relationships kept coming up that needed to be worked on. And that just kept getting ingrained in my head. And I was like, okay. And the other thing was what's funny is the other thing was the screen time. But I think looking back, I think it was because the screen time wasn't being used efficiently for any purpose that wasn't significant other than just distraction. And now I look back and I'm like, even though my screen time, for example, was up last week, but it was also one of the biggest weeks we've ever done because of the focus on the screen time with the intention of promoting something that we were doing for a launch. So it's just funny looking back at that, because I know one of the first exercises we did was a screen time thing. And I was like, and I kept bringing it up too, like the relationship. I was like, the screen time. And you're like, what's with the phone, dude? I'm like, well, and I was like, I think I'm just on it too much. And it's because of I was on it, but I was being distracted versus using it intentionally. So those are the three things I think.
What would you say, based on a relationship, what would be the best resource that I have shared with you, if you remember anything?
You know what's funny, man, is I don't know if there was a specific resource, but it was more of the mindset around. I remember it was one session we did. It was I forget what session it was exactly, but it was the mindset around not having to be perfect every single day when it comes to the habits. I think that was something that I was always obsessed on, was like, I got it. If I don't do this workout at this time, and I don't do this habit like foam rolling or stretching, and I don't do my 10,000 steps, and then I don't meditate, and then I don't, all this like checking off a box kind of habit stuff that like, you know, helps me be more productive, but it's also like just kind of like fluff, if you will. It's not work. It's just like, it's personal work. But I think that was a session that I was really like helpful for me, because I was like, yeah, I forget what you told me exactly, but
there was a sessions based on, for example, we have clarity, we have energy, we have productivity, influence, courage, psychology mastery, physiology mastery, influence, and purpose. I think it was in one of the sessions of actually influence and courage, I think.
I think it was the courage one. Yeah, that one seems like it might have been the one.
Yeah.
And I was just so obsessed on the checking off the boxes, and you're like, and you just helped me realize, like, yeah, not how, the thing I wrote down was, it was two things. It was like, how quickly can I let go of this emotion right now? When you become emotional because you didn't execute on whatever you said you were going to do as far as the habits, because you're focused on business, or like, you know, the business or something else that's more important, you know, you just got to let go of that and say, like, did I get it at least 80% correct? You know,
based on the experience and based on who, you know, my experience in my relationship, what else would you want to share? Last words for this quick interview.
Man, I would say that, dude, Hassan's a beast. Anybody who knows Hassan knows that he has a genuine heart, and, you know, he was able to sit down with me every single week for the last 16 weeks and just spend time helping me just become more aligned with my purpose, by asking me these questions, taking me through these different lessons, and really helping me just reflect. And it's like training, really. It's just more mental training. And that's something that's, if you're someone who's very much in tune and knows the power of personal development, that's all it is, really. And even more than that, but it's tactical, because it's not just consuming the information, or, you know, at the beginning of this, I said like more of like therapy, but, you know, where I think therapists mostly don't have the most impact is because they're just listening, right? Whereas this was more of like, you know, you get to have tactical personal development and feedback to be able to implement it to improve not only your personal programming, but also your business programming as well, by taking those habits and implementing those into them. So I'd say that, it was super beneficial, and definitely check it out, and you won't regret it.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, and appreciate your time around those sessions. And we met again also in TNC, which was really cool, and also in Miami. And can't wait to see you more often in all these masterminds you're a part of.
Thanks, bro.
Where can people find you, man? Because I work with other experts that could possibly use your services.
You know, we're in a company, Adspend.com. We're a YouTube advertising direct response agency. We help basically high ticket coaches, course creators, or info product and online education businesses, you know, get more leads, calls, and clients using direct response YouTube ads. And we have a done for you agency that only works with 10 clients at a time, because we're more of a marketing partner as opposed to a traditional agency. And we like to scale with a few clients. And then we have an a mastermind that's specifically for anyone who's really scaling with paid ads, who wants to learn what's working for us and our clients, who wants to help implement those into their businesses. It's called the Admin Mastermind. It's really amazing for agency owners, media buyers, and freelancers who all want to take what we do from our clients and implement it for their clients and their businesses as well. So you can find me at adspend.com. Very simple, ADSPEND. It's right here on the shirt if you want to look it out.
Let's take a look at it.
Oh, it's on this side. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
And then, YouTube is my main platform, and Twitter, Brian Moncada.
And the clients that you have gotten results, or like, if you could share like maybe the top 3 of them that really are incredible, so that people know exactly that who you're working with.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've worked with a lot of people. I mean, Cole Gordon, 8-figure sales trainer, Cole Gordon. We worked with Frank Kern. We still work with Roland Frazier and Digital Marketer, Ryan Dice, all those guys from Digital Marketer. And then John Asseroff, Bedros Koulian, a lot of amazing results. Bedros Koulian, he was the one that allowed us to become an agency partner from Hyros, because we just got such good results for Bedros that Alex Becker was like, damn, these guys are crushing it. And now we're an agency partner of Hyros as a result. So a lot of cool clients, and Brandon Carter, and a lot of other clients that are in the works as well.
What is something exciting that's happening in the world of business for you and your team? Where are you guys going in 2023?
Enough. I mean, for the agency clients, just finding more of the right fits and then helping them scale, and then growing the admin mastermind to a minimum of 360 people, man. So that's the big goal.
The company Adspend, who is it right for?
Oh yeah, info product and online education businesses, right? Anyone who sells any sort of education through a digital course, a coaching program, or a digital product. That's what we specialize in. So, our mission, educate the world through advertising. And the best way I think to do that is through self-education. So we help basically anyone who sells education scale with advertising.
As an agency owner, and also in the YouTube ad space, as an expert and owning a mastermind and being a part of masterminds, who would you recommend this kind of performance for? Who do you think this is for?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say that this is for pretty much any high performer who is an entrepreneur, that maybe they have an agency, maybe they don't, maybe they're just a solopreneur, maybe there's someone who's a freelancer who even just is wanting some direction and clarity on what's going on in their own head. Obviously, I think for the person who's an entrepreneur that's aspiring to do more, it's always important to have somebody that you can bounce ideas off of, who checks in with you weekly, who gets deep with the questions they're asking you to make sure that you're aligned with what your goals are, and giving them a structure to reflect, giving them the questions to reflect, and then ultimately keeping them accountable to those things.
Awesome, Brian. Moncada, thank you so much, man. Any last words before I end the recording?
Keep learning, keep smiling, keep growing, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.